There is racism in the system, inherent in the system, and naturally so, because the system was created by white people. And so they modeled it on white culture. You know how black people will say he or she, talking about another black person, is acting white? That's what they've done. They've just modeled white culture. They wear conservative clothes, they keep their hair short, they talk, they modulate their voice so it's not full of emotion. They only talk about certain subjects. They won't talk about certain other subjects in public. And there's just there are thousands and thousands of little cues that go on between two people when they talk that says we're from different cultures or we're from the same culture, and they're subconscious. It's just, how you react to everything in this conversation. And you've learned that since you were a small child. You said the wrong thing and you got in trouble, and this person said the same wrong thing and they got in trouble, so they don't say that thing. And when it comes up, you both look at each other like, ooh, don't go there. And it makes you feel a kinship and a connection. And if someone consistently says things that are taboo in your culture, when you're talking to them, then you feel further and further distance from them. You feel very different. I don't understand this person. This is confusing, and I don't feel safe. And so you prefer the people that make you feel safe, of course. And that is how there is racism inherent in the system, but it's not inherent necessarily in the white people. It's inherent only in the system. And how are we going to change that? What are we going to do? Well, we need to have a serious talk about culture. We can't just change it without discussing what changes are best and what changes will work. And how do we, should black people possibly, is that a good culture for them to try to mimic? What happens when black people act white? Does it hurt them? Do we need to take elements of black culture and put it in? How are we going, or can we make a public culture that we all share that has elements of white culture, elements of black culture that we all learn and are all comfortable with, and then keep our own cultures at home? What do white people think about their culture? Would they like to change certain things? Black people, are they happy with their culture, or do they wish it was more like white culture? Is that what allowed white people to make all this stuff? Maybe if they copied the rules, black people would make some stuff we haven't even thought of yet that just kind of comes from, I don't know. But we can talk about it and not point fingers and use all of this anger and frustration at the fact that the world is a very hard place to navigate. We can use that frustration to, instead of pointing fingers and yelling and calling people names, we can use that frustration to really learn and understand and create a culture, a public culture for the schools, for the legal system, for everything that we all use in common as American citizens, that is reflective of a non-racially specific culture that takes into account Asians, Arabic people, black people, white people, Hispanics, because that's who are all in America now. That's who we have to deal with, and we need to be strong as a country. And so we need a public culture that is race neutral. And that is not going to just happen overnight. That's going to happen with a lot of discussion and a lot of understanding by some very intelligent and well-meaning people. And we have them. And their voices need to, rise to the top from every culture.